Hello friends. So now we have till now learned about communication, programming. Now how to show the data in the visualization pattern. So I will walk you through in this particular tutorial on the visualization part, how we can configure visualization in the CoDeSys. So let's get started. So initial thing which we need to do is we need to go to the project settings. We have to always check for the visualization and symbol library. So this library should always be checked. And second thing is the profile. The profile should be properly selected based on the version. Okay, so these two are the first mandatory thing which we need to check. After that, let's start adding the visualization manager. So we need to go to add object and click on the visualization manager. Okay, so we can give certain names and click on the add button. So once with this visualization manager get added, we will see the different structures. So let it get added. Okay, so it get added and you can see it under it we have the web view. So sometime for some targets it can have web view plus target view, but this is Raspberry Pi SL, so it has web view. So now we can select also the different options of this different style settings. So these are the different style settings which are showing. And then we have another dialog setting which we can configure it here, how the dialog will appear, what are the different hotkeys we can configure in this. So we can define the hotkeys. Visualization means for the login page, keypad, how exactly what all the things should be there. Here we can configure user management. So these are the different settings where we can go and configure different parameters. Okay, so this will be helpful when we are designing and the proper HMI or the visualization. So all those things we will be utilizing there. So let me add the object called as visualization. Okay, we can provide a name to it. So let me give it to the main page. So now when the page is getting created, we will see the page is shown in the script part. Okay, now there when we right click we can select background and we can select any color which we want to set as a background color. Okay, so when we click OK, the background color will change. If we want to even also put the images, then we can also use images by using use image, but or we can select different colors based on our choice. So when we change, it will get changed, and whatever we want to select we can keep it. So this is on the background side how we can change what all things. So use image, if we have any image, then we can put it, we can assign it to this use image and the image will come. So different forms are there, so whatever we want to choose we can choose and we can say okay. So I'm not choosing anything right now. Okay, so once this is about the background, now how to add different visualization components, where are those? So those are actually there on the visualization toolbox. So in the visualization toolbox we have the basic elements, which is like rectangle, ellipse, line, all those things. We have then common controls like text box, button, group box, combo box, labels. All those things are under common controls. Then we have alarm manager, which we can utilize to perform any alarm part. Correct. So alarm visualization and everything. Then measurement controls like analog value, bar, display, then digital. So all those options we can explore in different category. So like trend editor, trend the text editor is there. So all those things are under special controls. date and time, some icon symbol, all these are present. So whatever we want to choose, we can go into the particular component group and we can select whatever we want. Okay, so these are all the different options, and these get varied from also sometime PLC to PLC or the library which we are using. Okay, so let me start with a basic diagram where we will have a switch and a lamp. Switch to make the lamp on. So that way we will write the logic. So it will be just a basic how exactly we configure, what are the things we need to check. So it will talk mostly about those things. So when we click on the button, the properties menu will open where everything you will find. With in the variable part, we will have to have variable element name we can change. By default, it will come with certain name. If we want to have some custom name, we can provide it. Like I'm giving element name as switch one. Okay. So all these different properties are there: type of element, positions, variable. Variable means with which variable I want to connect this particular switch. Okay. So yeah, this variable. So here, if we know the program name, we can type there. It will come in the context menu, and we can select any of the signals. But as I have not defined any signals, or this is a different option is to browse it using application program. Okay. So these are options for image setting, transparent color, what should be. So all those options I can do about image here. So if you can see, there are different properties which we can utilize for different purposes. Vertical alignment element behavior, we need to show image. Then we have the text, the tooltip, what should be the tooltip shown. So those text we can put it here. So all the properties, whatever is there, we can, when we click, we will get on the bottom, we will get the details of that particular property. So if we want to change the color and background of the object, then we can go and check on the image and click different options which are showing, right? So based on that, the element color will change. So these are the different options to play or change anything. So now let me set it to gray, and let's focus on the program part, how exactly this will work. We will go to PLC program. We will define two variable. One is the switch, because we have one switch as a boolean parameter, and then we will have the lamp. So we have the lamp there, that will be also boolean parameter. So define the logic for that. Lamp will be getting enabled only when the switch is on. Okay, so this is the logic. Now let's go to the main page and define the variable. So we will connect the variable. So we, as I was telling, we will go to variable. Now click there, type PLC, So PLC program came and dot, then switch come. So what all the variable we shown there. Same thing we'll do for the lamp. Okay, I just to show a difference, I just change the color. So now we will put the variable here, PLC program lamp 1. So these two are connected. So now let's save it and download it. Okay, so let's download the program and we'll see. So we have downloaded the program and let's go to main page and try to toggle the switch. So let's come online. So when we toggle the switch, yeah, so it is toggling and switching on the lamp and on and off using the switch. Let's check out the web visualization, but as we see, it is not opening. So why it is not opening? We can go because we start visualization page is not mentioned, so we have to give the start visualization page and download again. So once we'll download, this particular visualization page will start showing in the web also. So it is downloaded. Let's go into run mode. And now we will go to see the web page. Refresh it, so it came here, and we can operate it from here also. So this is how the basic visualization works. So now this particular web page is not only accessible on the laptop, but we can access it anywhere. So let me just show you and configure one digital output for the Raspberry Pi, and then we'll see how exactly we can operate it from another device by accessing the web page and operate the Raspberry Pi IO. Okay, so I have configured the lamp on IO to one of the bit. Let me download it. So once it get downloaded, we'll go online. Let me download it. Okay, so it is downloaded. Let's put it into run mode. And now let's check out on the Raspberry Pi configuration and the hardware itself. So let me show you how exactly it will work. So this is my Raspberry Pi setup. This is my Raspberry Pi Zero relay module, and if you see, this is running on my iPad, the whole visualization. So we should be able to operate it. If you see this LED of the relay is also switching on and off. So this is how exactly this will work. So we see how exactly it works. Now another thing is, right now if you see, this is made in a very haphazard manner, so you can also decorate it. So all those things are there. So it is all some trying to show how we can make it more designed or more elegant. So like putting it into a box or into a group box if you want to create a group, giving what exactly these IOs are. So those all the things we can do in the visualization as we do in any of the SCADA or HMI part. Okay. Yeah, so we can create this and the group. So all those things we can do, all the basic things. So you can see I put it into a group box one by one, and then it will become under a same group. Okay. So this is how we can actually create the group of any of the elements. Okay. So let's show you now some another options how we can utilize or show different values or take the input. So for that let me again create a group box, and I will put a rectangular box, and then we will place all the different items here. Okay. So this way we can create the background where we can put all our elements. There are a lot of properties which we can utilize to make our UI elegant. Okay, so I'm going to use now text field. So this particular text field can be used for a lot of purposes. So when you click on this text property on the bottom, if you see, you will get what all the different examples it can show. So text. Uh, so for the text right now, if you see, I'm putting percentage S. S stands for string, and we can give any text variable for that. Okay. Let me do another one. So let me go to the another one. So I created three different kind of data types, and let me configure it and show you how exactly this will work. So first one we did for percentage S, which is string. Second one is for percentage D, which is for all the decimal formats, and the third one is for percentage 1.2f. So 1.2f2 actually means how many decimal places it will have. Okay. So let me now define the variables here. So once this variable will define, we'll assign them into those text field, and after changing the value, we can see exactly how it is shown. So let me initialize this with some values, so that directly when we download, we will be able to see on the text field. Okay. So I have given for the float 1234, 1.234, and let's assign the variables here. Text in the text variable, we assign the variables for the text field to show the exact value what it has to. Okay. So let me save and download it. So once it's downloaded, let's go and check it out. So these are initialized. Let me see here. So if you see here, the first one was string, so string is coming. Second one was decimal, so decimal is coming. Third one was float, so float is also coming, but it is not giving full because we had given only till two decimal places. So 1.23 it will give. It will not give 1.2. 3, 4. So even if you see I change, so it is going till 2 decimal places only. Rest it is considering, not considering. So that is how exactly we uh, show the variables value. So let me do also few more items. So this were for display. Now we will make for input, how user will input the values. So let me give it here 1.4f, so it can give still 4 decimal places. Let me have the same, or let me change it to I. So percentage I also for the integer. So once it get downloaded, let's refresh the page. Now if you see, both are 10. So even percentage D and percentage I, because doesn't have much difference at a lower layer, on lower number. And as we gave the X value as 4 decimal, so we are able to see till the 4 decimal places. So let me, so on click mouse event. So these are the input configuration which we can utilize. So I'm going to write a variable. So which variable it is, the default one means the same variable which is utilized in the text field. Same variable I will use to write. So let me also do it for another one. Yes. So save it and download it again. So I got some compiler, so let me fix those. And okay, so let me clean build it again. So these things sometimes happens, but yeah, we should know how exactly we need to do. And clean all, and clean will clean everything, and it will rebuild from the scratch. Yeah, so here it also get populated. So now as we have configured this as input field, so we can go and change the values. Okay, same thing we can do for alphanumeric, so alpha part, and we can write hello world. So in this way we will be able to do the configuration, or the give the user input. So all the things we can be able to do using text field. So now let me show you some different more options, how we can utilize the visualization and what are the basic thing which we need to do. Okay, so I have created one circle. So let me try to create a form of wheel. So uh, I'm just putting some lines, and then we will make this in the formation of wheel. So basically what I want to do here is uh, show you how exactly the animation called inner rotation works. So there are two kind of rotation. One is the basic rotation, one is the rotation, and one is the interior rotation. So both has some different meaning. So let me do that. So let me first make this. Yeah. So after creating the shape, we will assign the variable. So we need to click on the interior rotation, and there, if you see, what exactly it tells is that the rotation of the whole element around the center. Okay, so wherever the center we have mentioned, from there the whole element will rotate. So here it rotate around the center. So let me give the variable to all the elements which we want to rotate on its center. So this is the first line. Let me do it for the second line also. So on the second line, let's give the variable. So let me assign this particular variable PLC program dot degree. Okay, so we have given the variable, assigned everything. Now let's save the project and let's download it, and we'll see how exactly it behaves. So it will rotate on its own axis, and so let me do the online change so it will be faster. So once it get downloaded, we can visualize this in the web widget. I refresh the page. Yeah, so let's make it on. So see, it is rotating on its own axis. So it is the behavior of the interior rotation. So let's try out some another animation. Okay, so wheel is made, and I have assigned the variable also on the x. So this particular whole wheel will move in the x direction. So let me download it, and then we will see how exactly it works. So it is downloaded, and let's put into run mode, and then we can toggle the switch. So once we toggle the switch, you see this particular wheel and the bar both are moving into the x direction, because we had given only the variable on the x direction. Okay, so here the backward movement is not happening, but that is not written in the program, so that is why. So we can also do the same backward movement also in a similar manner. So let me show you how exactly we write. So here I was only doing for the increment part, that if it is less than 360, it should decrement. Now we also have to do it for the decrement part. So once it decrement, then it means that it is going back. Okay, so as it get downloaded, you can see that now it will move in both the direction. So wheel is now moving in forward, and when you switch it off, it will move in the backward. So if you see, the animation shows exactly how it will work. Okay, so now let me go to different animations. So this was all about the movement, whether it will move in a similar manner in x and y coordinate. Okay, so I have just drag and drop one rectangle box, and assign the variable in the rotation. So let's see how exactly it behaves. Okay, so let's reload, and so you can see that this particular thing is not at all rotating. Rest everything are working, but this particular thing is not rotating. Why it is not rotating? I'll show you. Because if you see the definition, it is saying that it will rotate around the center in the degree. Okay, so center we have to move. So once we move the center, and let's see, so I have moved the center to the right, and download the program. So now let's see the visualization. Now if you can see, it is moving. So we need to always put the center in a certain uh, side so that it should move around the center. We have to provide the center particularly. Okay, so this is how we can make the rotation animation. So this is outer rotation, and it moves around the center part. So let me walk you through another properties in the animation, which is called a scaling. So let me put a rectangle here, and so this is the scaling. So what exactly it do is it will scale the whole element based on the its center. So right now, if you see, the center is in the middle of this particular uh, symbol which we have dragged and put it here. Let me give here the variable, and yeah, I just make it with some different colors. So based on the center, this element will shrink and go. Okay, so let me show you how exactly it works. So now if you see, we have a very small rectangle, and when we make the switch to on, it is started growing because the variable which we have connected is now, the value is actually changing on a bigger size. So it is counting and getting increased. So accordingly, this particular size is also increasing. Now I have make the switch off, so it is decreasing, and the size of the box is getting decreased. So this is how the scaling works basically. So with the size increase and decrease based on the variable which we have connected. Okay, so if you see this particular thing, this is a bar display, and I will just change the scale endpoints to 1000. So this is another animation where we show how we can fill the tank. So there's element called bar display which we can utilize to show that kind of animation also. So let me download the program. So it is the bar display element which we can utilize. So now if you can see, when I switch on, then the tank filling animation is happening, that this is a big tank and the value is increasing, so it is getting filled. Okay, at the same time, so either of the two we can utilize, how it depends on how animation, which kind of animation we want. So either shrink and go with the help of a scaling animation, or we can directly use bar display element to just show the tank filling animation. Okay, so let me show you another feature for this scaling, uh, or for you can utilize it for other also, but let me show you how exactly this. So right now we were seeing only the absolute movement. So absolute movement means only in particular directions, correct? Now I will show you. There's another property which is relative movement. So relative movement, basically what it does, it is relative to certain point. So movement is top to left or movement bottom right. Okay, so how exactly to do movement of the left or the right or bottom edge of the element, that will move in certain direction. So if we give x, it will move in x coordinate. If we give the variable on the y, it will move in the y coordinate. So let me just put this particular variable itself in the top and left in the x coordinate. So let me download the program. So once it get downloaded, we'll see the behavior, how exactly this relative movement work. So now if you can see, this exactly how it is moving is, it is moving in the top and left movement. Okay, so So it is shrinking and going only in a particular direction. So it, from the left, top left edge is moving in the x coordinate. So top and left edge, that's what its behavior will be. It is only moving in the x direction. So now let me change it to uh, yes, yeah, same variable. I will provide it in the y. Okay, so now let me download it. So once it will get downloaded, now this time it will, the top left edge will move in the y direction. So earlier it was going in the x, now it will go in the y direction. So you see it is moving in the y direction. So as the value is increasing, so it is going on the down. Once the value will decrease, it will go in up, because y value is moving because that is the center. Okay, so this is how it works in x and y direction, the top left edge. And similarly, if we want to do for other bottom right, or bottom right to x, or bottom right to y, we can do the same thing. So let me give it at the same time in the both, and see how exactly it will behave. So it is for the bottom right edge now. So get downloaded. Refresh the animation. Yeah, so now if you see this, now it is moving in both x and y. So x is also going, y is also going. Okay, and x is also sinking, y is also sinking. So the bottom right edge of the element is moving. So this is how we can do the relative movement. Okay, yeah, so this is all the different animation which we can do, and this will help us in creating more objects, like how we can do different animations. So this is all about all animation properties. I will be creating another video where I will be talking more about different forms of uh, object creation, how we can reference it more than once, so like creating a pump object or like that. Thanks for watching. That's all for this video. See you in the next one.